Hello dear students, this session is about vaccination. So what is vaccination? It is the artificial induction of humoral and cellular responses. That is artificial induction of immunity to an infectious agent through injection of non-virulent antigen preparation. That is known as vaccination. So what is vaccination? It is the artificial induction of humoral and cellular responses. What is humoral and cellular responses? That is that is part of the immunity of the body. So this is an artificial method of inducing immunity in the body by injecting certain substances known as non-virulent antigen preparation. That is vaccination. So in simple terms, it is the artificial induction of immunity in the body by injecting a non-virulent antigen preparation. What is meant by non-virulent antigen preparation? So this antigen may be the part of the microbe or the microbe itself, and it will be non-virulent. Virulent means that which is capable to cause disease or infection to the body, and non-virulent means which cannot cause disease or infection to the body. So this is a preparation of the microbe, the whole microbe or part of the microbe or some substances from the microbe which is not having the capacity to infect. Okay, that is meant by non-virulent antigen preparation. Okay, so what is vaccination? Vaccination is the artificial induction of immunity in the body by injecting a non-virulent antigen preparation. Okay, so this humoral and cellular responses, that is written here because that is the immunity, that is the specific immunity which is induced by vaccination. That's why it is written here. We can just say artificial induction of immunity. You need not specify humoral and cellular responses. So vaccination is the artificial induction of immunity to the body by injecting a non-virulent antigen preparation. And this is having a feature that it will induce memory in the body. It will induce memory in the body. That is, it will produce memory T and B cells. And the vaccine, so what is here we inject to the body, that is what is this non-virulent antigen preparation known as? It is known as vaccine. So injecting this vaccine is known as vaccination. And this vaccine can be of 4 types. There are 4 types of vaccine, that is toxoids, killed vaccine, antigens, and attenuated living vaccines. So vaccines can be classified into 4 different types, that is toxoids, killed vaccines, antigens, and attenuated living vaccines. Now about toxoids. These toxoids are soluble exotoxins of bacteria. Okay, that is toxoids, and we are using these toxoids as vaccine. Okay, then we can classify these vaccines as toxoids. Toxoids are soluble exotoxins of bacteria, and when we use them as vaccines, what we do, we will inject them into the body to make the body active and produce memory cells, so that whenever an attack from this pathogen occurs, the body at once will respond and resist the disease. So the person will not contract the disease. Okay, because already the memory cells are produced and kept during vaccination. So the body will not contract a disease. So toxoids are soluble exotoxins of the bacteria, and these exotoxins, actually they are toxic to the body. But while preparing vaccine, what happens, These exotoxins are modified and they are rendered less toxic. So this preparation, that is this toxoid preparation of vaccine, it is having the capacity to induce our immune system, that is to activate our immune system and produce memory cells, but it is not having the capacity to cause an infection. And examples of toxoids are vaccines against diphtheria, tetanus, bacilli. Next is killed vaccine. Killed vaccines are vaccine preparations which contain the whole microorganisms. The whole microbe is there inside that injection, and this microbe, it is killed particles, killed cells. Okay, killed microbes will be injected into the body. And how they are killed? They may be killed by heat or UV radiation or chemicals such as phenol, alcohol, formalin. And this preparation which contains the killed bacteria or the pathogen, it can be virus or protozoan, etc. So this killed microorganisms which is in this preparation of vaccine that is injected into the body, and it will not cause the disease because these are killed pathogen, but these are having the capacity to induce our immune system, activate our immune system and produce memory cells. So when there is another attack, actual attack of this pathogen, our body will not contract a disease because these memory cells are there and they will at once kill the pathogen when they enter into our body. And examples of killed vaccines are vaccines against whooping cough, poliomyelitis. Next is antigens. So what are antigens? What will be there in the vaccine when it is classified as antigens? So these vaccine preparations will be containing particles isolated from the infectious agents. Okay, certain particles isolated from the pathogen or the microbe. And these particles can be capsular polysaccharides. Okay, example is capsular polysaccharide of pneumococci. Pneumococci is a bacteria. It is a pathogen. So in this case, the capsular polysaccharide, that is a part of this bacteria. We can isolate this capsular polysaccharide from this bacteria and make it into a preparation, vaccine preparation, and inject into the body to resist this particular microbe. So this preparation, this antigenic preparation, that will induce our immune system and make our immune system produce memory cells, so that when there is an actual attack of this particular pathogen, our body will at once resist it. Next is attenuated living vaccines. What are attenuated living vaccines? These are vaccine preparations which contain whole microorganisms. That is, that whole microorganisms are there in the living condition, but it is non-virulent. Non-virulent means it is not having the capacity to cause the disease, but it will activate our immune system. So here the organisms, the complete organisms which is living but rendered non-virulent. Okay, it is non-virulent. By means we will grow these pathogens in certain specific culture media, and by growing them in this particular culture media, their virulence will be lost. They are living, they will be in the living condition, but they cannot cause the disease. We will convert them into such state and then make the antigenic vaccine preparation and will inject into the body. So such a preparation that will induce our immune system but will not cause the disease. It will induce our immune system to produce the B cells, memory cells, and our immune system will recognize the actual attack of this pathogen at once without delay and will destroy it, so that the body will not contract the disease. So example is BCG against tuberculosis. BCG vaccine against tuberculosis. So next is about single dose. Certain vaccination we take only single dose, only one injection will be there. Then booster dose, for certain vaccines we take booster doses also. For example, vaccine against polio vaccine, we take booster doses. Means there will be the first dose, first injection will be there, and we will take after a period there will be a second dose or a third dose may be there. These are known as booster dose. Then this vaccination that can be systemic or it can be mucosal. This vaccination is also sometimes called by the term immunization. Okay, both these terms are used. Vaccination as well as immunization, both are the same. So this I have written here immunization, that is vaccination itself. Okay, so it can be of two types: systemic immunization and mucosal immunization. This distinction is based on the method by which the vaccine is administered into the body. The method by which the vaccine is injected into the body. In systemic immunization, this is carried out by injecting vaccine into the deltoid muscle subcutaneously or intramuscularly. Okay, this is just understand that this is carried out by injecting the vaccine into the deltoid muscle. That is one particular muscle in our body, deltoid muscle. And most of the vaccination procedures are in this way, that is by systemic immunization. In mucosal immunization, the vaccine is administered either orally or through nasal way. Okay, orally it will be administered orally. For example, during oral polio vaccination, 2 or 3 drops of this vaccine is put into the mouth. That is example of mucosal immunization. And there is also administration through the nose. This is known as nasal associated vaccination. Okay, nasal associated vaccination, that is administering this vaccine through the nose. The vaccine will be sprayed through the nose, and this is also one example of mucosal immunization. So there are two types of immunization: systemic immunization and mucosal immunization. Systemic immunization is injecting the vaccine into the deltoid muscle. That is subcutaneously or intramuscularly it is injected into the muscle. It may not be always, it may not be essentially the deltoid muscle. Okay, other muscle, it may be injected to other muscles also. So it is just the injection. The method is by injecting using a syringe and needle, injection needle. It is injected into the body, that is into the muscle. That is known as systemic immunization. In mucosal immunization, the vaccine is administered into the body orally or through the nose. It is sprayed into the nose. Okay. And some common vaccines are BCG vaccine, DPT vaccine, polio vaccine. Then there is also monovalent and polyvalent vaccine. What is BCG vaccine? BCG is the vaccine against tuberculosis. Okay, it is the vaccination given to the babies for the protection against tuberculosis. What is the full form of BCG? Bacillus Calmette-Guerin. This vaccine was developed by Albert Calmette and Calmette-Guerin. That's why it is given the name BCG vaccine, Bacillus Calmette-Guerin. And these are, I already told, this BCG vaccine contains living microbes of tuberculosis, which causes tuberculosis, but they are attenuated organisms. They are attenuated, means they do not have the capacity to cause the disease. They are non-virulent. Okay, that's meant by attenuated microbes. And they will render, that is, this BCG vaccine will render 80% effective prevention against tuberculosis for a duration of 15 years. And this is effective against several forms of childhood tuberculosis, but not essentially against adult tuberculosis. It does not prevent adult type of tuberculosis. This is only effective against childhood tuberculosis. Then the next is DPT vaccine. This is a combination vaccine, means this DPT vaccine, it is containing preparations against 3 different types of diseases, that is diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus. These are 3 different types of disease. Okay, 3 different against 3 microbes, that is microbes which is causing diphtheria, microbe which is causing pertussis, and microbe which is causing tetanus. So this one particular vaccine, that is DPT, it is containing the preparations against 3 infections: diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus. What is diphtheria? It is an upper respiratory tract illness, okay, caused by Corynebacterium diphtheriae. That is one bacteria, Corynebacterium diphtheriae. This bacteria will cause upper respiratory tract illness known as diphtheria, and this DPT vaccination can prevent this particular disease. The next is pertussis. Pertussis is also known as whooping cough, and this is caused by a bacteria known as Bordetella pertussis. And when we take this DPT vaccine, resistance is offered against this particular bacteria, that is Bordetella pertussis. The body will not contract whooping cough or pertussis. The next is tetanus. Tetanus is characterized by prolonged contraction of the skeletal muscle. The skeletal muscles of our body, the muscles of our body will remain in a contracted state for a long period of time. So in such a state, the body cannot function. If all our muscles will remain in a contracted state for a long time, the person will die. The organs of our body cannot function in such a state, and that is known as tetanus. And tetanus is caused by a bacterium known as Clostridium tetani. So this DPT vaccination also contains preparations against this bacterium, that is Clostridium tetani. But this preparation, that is this preparation against Clostridium tetani, that is not lifelong. We need to take it again and again. That's booster doses need to be taken. It is not rendering resistance for a lifelong period. That's why we are taking tetanus injection again and again when there is a cut or a wound in our body. So these tetanus vaccinations that need to be repeated every 8 to 10 years in order to remain effective. The next is polio vaccine. Polio vaccine is the vaccination against the disease known as poliomyelitis, and this is an infectious viral disease. Okay, viral disease. This is a viral disease. This is a disease caused by a virus, poliomyelitis, and this is a viral disease which is affecting our nervous system. It will affect our nervous system, that is the brain and the spinal cord will be affected, and this will cause paralysis. And depending upon the area which is affected, depending upon the area of the nervous system which is affected, it causes paralysis in different parts of the body. Okay, there will be different level of paralysis. And 2 types of polio vaccines are there. there is the injected dose and the oral vaccine. Okay, oral vaccine is also there, and injected dose of polio vaccine is also there. This oral dose of polio vaccine was developed by a scientist known as Albert Sabin. Okay, and this oral vaccine contains attenuated polioviruses that we discussed earlier. Attenuated poliovirus, that is attenuated viral particles, means these viral particles are living but they are in an attenuated condition, means they cannot cause the disease. They are just living but they are not having the capacity to cause the disease. That is known as attenuated pathogen. Then about monovalent and polyvalent vaccine. Monovalent vaccine means it is designed to immunize the person against just one disease or just one microorganism. For example, BCG vaccine, polio vaccine. Multivalent or polyvalent vaccine means it is designed to immunize against more than one diseases or more than one pathogen. For example, DPT vaccine. And polyvalent vaccine, another example for this polyvalent vaccine is pentavalent vaccine. There is a vaccine known as pentavalent vaccine called Pediarix. Okay, pentavalent vaccine. This is a combination vaccine which was approved for use in United States. And also now the government of India has also decided to introduce this pentavalent vaccine. And this pentavalent vaccine will provide immunization, or it will immunize against 5 life-threatening diseases of childhood. That is diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, hepatitis B, and Haemophilus influenza type B disease. Okay, 5, it is providing protection, or it is it will immunize against 5 different diseases, childhood diseases: diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, hepatitis B, and Haemophilus influenza disease. Okay, that is about pentavalent vaccine. So what is monovalent and polyvalent vaccine? Monovalent means it is providing protection against only one disease. That is, it is designed to immunize against one microorganism. Polyvalent vaccine means it is designed to immunize against more than one microorganism. Means more than one disease it is giving protection. It is giving protection against more than one disease. Example, DPT vaccine. DPT vaccination is providing protection against diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus. Okay, it is resisting 3 different types of microorganisms, that is Corynebacterium diphtheria, Bordetella pertussis, and Clostridium tetani. 3 different bacteria. So DPT vaccination is giving protection against these 3 different bacteria. So it can be categorized as polyvalent vaccine. So that's all about vaccination. If there is any doubt, you can post in the WhatsApp group. Thank you.